Welcome to Katy Calls BS, the podcast where we cut through the noise in course creation, digital products, and business strategy. I'm Katie Miller, bringing you blunt advice, real action steps, and the occasional F-bomb because building a business is hard and the BS isn't helping. Let's get into it. Welcome back to another episode of Katy Calls BS. This week, we're going to talk about launch rhythm because we are officially in Q4 and the holiday season is here, which is wild to think about that we are in October officially, which means that almost everyone is thinking about wrapping up the year. But here's the thing, if your whole business depends on one Black Friday launch, you're not building a business, you're gambling, and that's a problem. We don't want to do that. Right now, I know a lot of us, myself included, are feeling the pressure of the end of the year, the pressure of the chaos of the world. The economy is weird. The government literally shut down. People are holding on to their money. Honestly, business feels dead in a lot of industries. We're kind of feeling the pressure right now. The truth is that this doesn't mean that you have to join in on all the holiday hustle, though, and throw out an offer just to survive. We don't want to do that. We don't want to be throwing out something just to survive or just trying to figure it out. Like, let me try this, let me try this, let me do that. Or I have to do a Black Friday offer. We don't have to do that. In fact, you don't have to offer anything for Black Friday ever. Today, we're calling BS on the idea that the holidays in Q4 means hustle. I hate that word. I've never loved the word hustle. You can go back to the beginning of Katy Calls BS and you will find episodes on my feelings about that word hustle and my feelings about Black Friday in general. So we're going to talk about what launching looks like right now in this climate. It's not about going harder. It's about creating a rhythm and what that looks like today and moving forward in your business and what you can do just in general to maintain your sanity, but what it means today in today's crazy climate. This is the season where online business owners start gearing up for the Black Friday chaos. I've just never liked Black Friday personally. I don't know why you would go out after you have your just joyful turkey dinner. It's one of my favorite meals. Or why you would go into this chaos of this holiday push when you just want to enjoy it. Why are you pushing yourself so much to create this irresistible offer around Black Friday and pushing harder to make all these sales? But this year feels really different. Finances are really tight for a lot of people, both for business owners and for consumers. I'll be honest, I've been feeling it too. I think everybody has. We're kind of watching everything. I know that when I've mentioned it in the last couple episodes, that when I talk to business owners in general, a lot of us are saying how weird this year is. We're just saying like business is just different. We're having to get a little bit more creative in how we're running our businesses, what we're offering, how we're doing things. Do we offer something different? Do we offer discounts? What are we doing? And if you're feeling the same sense of defeat or overwhelm, know that you're not alone because so many business owners are in the same boat right now across the board. And I'd love to hear if you're feeling this too. Here's what I want you to take away. A quiet business season doesn't mean that you've failed. It's actually a great chance to rethink how you're showing up. What I think is going to be the most challenging is that this quiet season is coming at a time when it is typically the busiest for a lot of us. That's a challenge, and it's a new challenge for most of us. But think of this as a chance to reset, a chance to build, reflect, and dare I say rest, which is really hard for a lot of us. Now, here's where the BS comes in. We've been sold this idea that Q4 is your make or break. This is your chance to make up for whatever the rest of the year looked like. This is your chance to push for the end of the year, make your goals. That if you don't have this massive Black Friday deal, and if you're not hustling to get those end of the year sales, you're somehow doing it wrong. I think that's BS. I've said for years that you don't have to offer anything for Black Friday. There's a lot of competition. Sales are starting earlier and earlier. Amazon Prime days start this weekend or early, like when this episode is coming out. You get emails earlier and earlier. Black Friday isn't even actually on Black Friday anymore. You know when it used to be that you would go out after you had Thanksgiving dinner and people would line up? It doesn't even start then. It starts earlier than that. It starts the weeks before. So it's not even on Black Friday anymore. How are you supposed to compete with all that stuff? It's really hard to do. But think about it. If your whole business model relies on one 48-hour sale or month sale, I don't know, however long it is these days, however Black Friday has expanded into months or Q4, how sustainable is that really? That's not actually a strategy. you're banking on a lottery ticket. It puts you in this cycle of desperation, which is not where any of us want to be as a business owner. It puts you in this cycle of scrambling to create an irresistible offer for this one little tiny part of the whole year. And that maybe doesn't even fit into your business. That offer might not even be part of your business, but you're trying to fit it into your business because that's when you're supposed to make all these sales. You're trying to capitalize on a time of year when people are buying things because it's the holidays. And I get it. You feel like you have to. But is that really why you started your business? Is it a sustainable business model? It's definitely not how you're going to grow long term. It's not how you are going to grow throughout the rest of the year. Is it worth it to bust your ass for that 1 month period? Are you really making that much money in that 1 month period or that 1 week period? Is it worth it for you? I mean, if it is, cool. I love that for you. But I'm guessing for the majority of us, it's not. So let's talk about the difference between a launch hustle and a launch rhythm. I can't stand that word hustle, but for this episode, we're going to have to use it. So launch hustle is this big hype cycle. You go all in, you burn yourself out. Another thing I can't stand because I've done it multiple times and it really sucks. You disappear for months to recover and then you do it all over again. It's stressful. It's unpredictable. And honestly, it's draining and it's horrible to come back from. I don't know how you're going to pump yourself up to do it all over again. It seems exhausting and not the way you want to do your business. I can get why you would dread launching. It's the part of launching that never made sense to me. Why launch in a way that makes you want to disappear and feel like you never want to do it again or like you dread it every time? Makes zero sense. It's actually what inspired the lazy launch guide that I created. Because I was looking at all these business owners that were launching and like, oh my gosh, I'm so exhausted from my launch. Why? That makes no sense. Why are you doing that to yourself? Why are you putting yourself in this cycle of launching that way when you have control over how you do it? You are the business owner. You get to decide how you do this. You're the one in charge. But a launch rhythm is totally different. A launch rhythm is about choosing a cadence that works for you in your business. Maybe that's monthly mini offers. Maybe it's a quarterly push for a bigger program. The point is, it's consistency, whatever that looks like for you. It keeps the revenue flowing. It keeps your audience engaged and it doesn't destroy your energy in the process. Normally, that looks like talking about one offer at a time. And so you're talking about it a lot. You talk about that offer so much that you think you're talking about it so much and you kind of get sick of talking about it. That's how you know you talked about it enough. But to be clear, you didn't start your business to be miserable in any aspect, not even launching. So if you're miserable after you launch, something's not right there. Something's not balancing out. Even if you're doing it in Q4, something's not matching up if you're miserable after that. If you hate doing Black Friday, why are you doing it? Here's where I want to reframe things for you though. Besides the Black Friday thing, this quarter, Q4, this particular one in 2025, doesn't have to be a sprint. It actually doesn't have to be a sprint ever. Q4 does not have to be a sprint ever, but especially in 2025, because the world looks a little different right now. What if it was a prep? What if instead of hustling to squeeze every last dollar out of 2025, what if you used these next 3 months to set yourself up for 2026? I'm not going to prep us for 2026 like it's going to be a fantastic year because we don't know what it's going to look like, honestly. And I came into 2025 like really slowly. I came in sidestepping it. We're just going to ease right into it, not look it in the eye kind of thing. And I'm going to do the same thing for 2026. So I'm not going to go in, 2026 is going to be our best year yet. We're not making promises about that. I'm just going to say, what if you could prep yourself so that you could put yourself in the best possible position? That could look like a million different ways, but it could be something like tightening up your messaging. Maybe it's simplifying or restructuring your offers. It could be testing out a micro product. Maybe seeing if you could put together some digital products that we've talked about so much. Maybe it's building out your nurture systems, your email, your content, so that when people are hopefully ready to buy again in January, maybe February, because it might take people a little longer this time, you're the first person they think about. Or maybe, just maybe, hear me out, you take a second to freaking rest in the next 3 months and be okay with that. Because pivoting right now doesn't mean you've failed. Trust me, I need the message as much as you might need the message. It doesn't mean that you've failed if there is not any business right now. It doesn't mean that you've failed if you are trying to figure out how money needs to come in the door right now. It means that you're paying attention. It means that you're being strategic instead of reactive. You're not just trying to come up with something to come up with something. You're trying to figure out what your next move is. That's what successful business is. Now, I know when things slow down, it's really easy to panic. Trust me, I know that because I am also a business owner. So it's easy to panic and be like, oh shit, there's not been any money for a while. Like, what am I supposed to do? You think if I'm not selling right now, I'm losing and my business is failing and I suck. It's really easy to think that. But if you reframe it, I want you to think about it like this, because this is how I've been told to think about it. You're not losing, you're planting the seeds. I know we've heard that before. I've been told that before. I try to remind myself of the same thing. You're planting the seeds now because it takes a while for them to grow. The slowdown gives you space to work on your business, not just in your business. You can create the evergreen assets. The best time to create your digital products are times like this because you don't want to create products when you're in the panic mode, when you actually need them, oddly enough. You don't want to sit there and have an emergency happen and be like, I can't work right now. I can't be live right now with people, but I don't have anything to give them. You cannot create a course out of nothing when you have no time to create it. You cannot create a digital product when you have no time to create it. So if you have the time now, and maybe you don't have a full client load, now is the time to prep that stuff for later when you do have a full client load, because you're not going to have the time to do it then. So if business is slower, that's the time you work on the things in your business. You work on the things in your business because you won't have time to do that when you have a full client load. So build those micro digital products now, because those are the things that people can grab anytime. Build up that side of your business now. You have the time to do it right now. You're not packed with business right now, and that's okay. So this is the time when you can build up the other things in your business so that it's ready to go for later. You can also work on your pricing and your packaging. You can map out your launch rhythm for next year. You can revisit what worked and what didn't work this year. Look back at the year. What worked? What didn't work? What did you like and what didn't you like? Because that's important too. Is there an offer you had that you hated, or that you offered, or a launch that you enjoyed or didn't enjoy? Were there events that you went to that you loved or didn't love? Because you're going to have to think about that for next year. This isn't wasted time. It's your reset button. It's going to make your future launches so much easier and way less stressful. But this is the time to work on all those things when you say you don't have time to do them. Well, now you do. So let's answer the big question that I feel like you're probably thinking about. What about right now? What do I do now? Because these are all the questions that I've had myself. You're like, okay, well, I have time, but okay, I'll work on those things, whatever, but it's not going to take me that long to do them. What do I do right now? Because I need the sales right now. Should I lower my prices? Should I discount for Black Friday? Do I extend my launch? What do I do? Here's the short answer. You don't have to slash your prices. Discounts are one tool, but do you really want to devalue what you offer? Think about value add incentives instead. Bonus content, extra access, extended payment plans. Things are taking longer to sell in general. If you want to run a launch, try extending it. Don't do stressful events like 5 days stressful sprint. Make it 3 to 4 weeks. I know that seems longer, but that's what it's taking. Where you can breathe a little and connect with your audience. Let them take their time to decide. The pressure is not it right now. People need time and less stress. You need to read the room. A slower launch can actually convert better because you're not forcing that urgency in a market that's already overwhelmed. So, like I said, read the room. Here's your action step for this week. Instead of hustling into the holiday sprint, I want you to pick one prep project to focus on between now and the end of the year. What is your prep that you're going to work on now that you have time? Maybe it's creating that one micro digital product. Maybe it's refining an existing offer that you have. Maybe it's mapping out your 2026 launch rhythm. Whatever it is, let it be something that sets your business up for the long game, because we are playing a long game with our businesses. Because this quarter doesn't have to be your most profitable, but it can be your most strategic. And that is how you win the game long term. And as always, you don't have to offer a Black Friday offer. I'll see you next time. If today's episode hit home, share it with a friend and hit follow so you never miss the next one. Until then, keep calling out the BS and building your business your way.